field on the starting line now for the 1983 Australian 250cc Grand Prix. 8 laps in total, 49.38 kilometres. And on the left-hand side of screen there, number 24, Chris Oldfield, the reigning 250cc Grand Prix champion, together with Australian champion. Alongside him, West Australian Hardy. And they leave the starting line under the Hardy Bridge and head off towards Hell Corner for the first lap. And it's Oldfield quickly into the lead, and bike number 24. Look at the lead that Oldfield has as he goes up to the top of the mountain, lining up for the right-handed. The 250cc lap record is held by Greg Hansford of Queensland on the Works 250 Kawasaki at 2:24.84. And Oldfield, the rider who we're watching, is a real hard rider, and I think there's quite a good chance that he's going to be able to put in some fairly prolific type of lap times. He's on the British Armstrong with the Rotax engine. There's Oldfield coming across the top of the mountain on the first lap on towards Castrol. The yellow bike and the red and white leathers. It's bike number 24 with the green background number plates, which indicates these machines are of 250cc capacity. The reigning champion in the 250 class over Skyline. There's second place.
Lee Roebuck from Goulburn in New South Wales has moved up into second. Michael Dowson in fourth position.
Could be quite a possibility there for 166 in third place. Bill Sayers from Victoria on the Rotax as they head down towards Forest Elbow on lap 1. Onto the Conrod Straight.
And the first time down Conrod, it's all Chris Oldfield. Stepped on to the Jack Walter sponsored Rotax only this time last year and has been basically unbeatable ever since.
2.2 seconds separating first from second.
Not bad on an opening lap as the big dice for third position is on.
End of lap number 1, 7 to go.
One rider goes down the escape road at the end of Conrod Straight. That's 174, Rob Sluice.
There's second place in a good old battle for third and fourth between number 1 Michael Dowson from Western Australia together with Bill Sayers on bike 166. And tucking in behind them we've got number 49, and that's Richard Scott from New Zealand on the Peter Addison TZ250K model. And one rider heavily off, and that is very, very spectacular as he came over the top of Skyline and into the sand trap. Very hard to pick up the number. And it just proves the benefit of that sand that stopped the rider from getting right out and crunching into that fence. There's the leader, Chris Oldfield, bike number 24, and you can see the gap here as we watch for our second place man to come over the crest, and that's Lee Roebuck on bike number 20. And then a long gap once again back to our third place man, and that should be number 49, Richard Scott from New Zealand on the TZ250K. A brand new machine, a very interesting bike, and in the pits earlier on this morning, we took a look at it. Richard, welcome across to Bathurst. It's going to be a great race.
Thanks very much.
How do you think you'll go on the new bike?
Everything's looking really good in practice. Everything's going well. It's my first race on the bike, but yeah, I'm fairly confident.
Who do you see as the major opposition for the crown?
The Hinton brothers seem to be going fairly well. Lee Roebuck, Chris Oldfield, it's pretty hard to say who's going what at the moment. But
what about the 250K model? It's a very highly sophisticated road racing bike. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, it's the latest 250 out at the moment. It's very light and fast, and last year's model won the World Championship, so it's pretty much the same as that.
And you like riding this type of genuine Grand Prix type bike by comparison to the production bikes?
Yeah, I do, very much so.
What about across the top of the mountain? Obviously, Mount Panorama are a lot different to some of the circuits you've seen in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Exciting track?
Oh, it's the best track I've ever been to.
Blue flag out, 1 lap to go for Chris Oldfield. The 49, Richard Scott, the man who we just spoke to. And it looks as though he may well have displaced Lee Roebuck, who's back there on bike number 20 in 3rd place. So Richard Scott making a real push towards the top of the field, the likeable New Zealand rider. The business end of the TZ 250K. Glances over his shoulder, and Roebuck now back in 3rd place.
Top of the mountain for the last time. Oldfield can afford to look down at his motorcycle, make sure that everything's in tip-top order as he goes over Skyline and wins his way down to pick up a great double at the 1983 Mount Panorama meeting, and that is wins in the Australian 350cc Grand Prix and this, the 250cc Grand Prix.
And has a glance once again. I hope there's nothing wrong with the bike. Whistling down Conrad.
Not whistling down that hard with his knee out. One wonders, in fact, if he does have a problem with his machine, and just how close behind is Richard Scott.
Well, if he does have a problem, as we all know, coming around this next left-hander.
Yes, he does have one. Here we go. 1 corner remaining, perhaps 400 metres left in the 1983 Australian 250cc Grand Prix, and Chris Oldfield just about limping to the finish. No, he's got power, and he takes the checkered flag very, very slowly indeed. So, a lucky win.
And by gee, Richard Scott wasn't too far behind there on bike number 49 as he flashed through our shot.
And the race for 3rd place is on between Bernie Summers and Vaughan Coburn, and Summers has got it as he goes down into Murray's corner for the last time. Coburn can't do it, and Bernie Summers takes 3rd position. And the results of the Australian 250cc Grand Prix, Chris Oldfield on an Armstrong framed machine from Richard Scott and Bernie Summers, both on Yamahas.